Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Space Game Junkie podcast. I, as always, am your co-host, Brian, and joining us, as always, is your co-host, Hunter.
Hey, it's me, Hunter.
It's a you, and Spaz, your co-host, Spaz.
Just because you have a character does not mean that you have character.
Hey. Oh, that's deep.
And I don't want you to feel pressure that you have to come up with something clever every time. just don't feel you have to. I love it when you do, but you don't have to. I'm just saying. Hello, everyone. Topic show today, because I've got to be honest. There's not like I haven't really felt excited enough about a game to invite anybody on lately. Like we've had everybody that I felt excited about. You know what I mean?
All your character belong to us.
Basically.
That's right.
So it's just been it's going to be topic shows for a while because like we've had pretty much everyone on that I want to talk to so far. So, and I don't want to do another morning show for a while. That's another reason I haven't invited anybody on for a while. Because it's like, I don't want to talk to anyone at 6 a.m. again. So topic shows for the foreseeable future, y'all. Hope you don't mind. Today's topic: our favorite video game characters. They do not have to be from space games. I'm sure there are some. And this, I don't know about you guys, but for me, this is a tough list to come up with because a lot of the games I love either don't really have characters, like they're all roguelikes or whatever, or like they're.
I guess maybe in your case it'd be like your favorite 3 spaceships, like
maybe.
Like,
yeah,
but I was thinking like a lot of the games I play, like one of my favorite games is Free Space 2. I'm like, oh, that Alpha 3. You know, I loved Wingman Alpha 3. It's like that guy was great until he died. And it didn't matter because he was Alpha 3. So it's like a lot of the kids, like, and do races count as a character? Like, I love the Velox from Starflight. They're like one of my favorite races in any game, but is that a character? Like, is a whole race a character? Like, I wasn't sure about that one, so I didn't include them. So, you know, for me, this was a tough list to come up with. How about you guys? Did you have a tough time thinking of some favorite characters, or was it easier for you than it was for me?
I had a couple that were pretty easy to come up with. I think Gordon Freeman is one of my favorite characters.
Interesting.
I love the Half-Life series, and so it's kind of interesting because he's a wordless character.
I was gonna say he's a mute protagonist. Like he doesn't really.
Right. But what's interesting though is because the nature, especially in Half-Life 2, they do something pretty awesome that I absolutely love. And that is you are in the cutscene, right? So there's no like pause for cutscene. The cutscenes just happen like dynamically and you're in them. So you could like walk away from the characters talking to you if you want. So
that's great.
So it's one of those things where like as the protagonist, like it really puts the emphasis that like you are Gordon Freeman. And that kind of dynamic style of like allowing me to play that character how I feel it should be played is kind of unique. So I like the character of Gordon Freeman for that.
Now, do you have the same feeling for like say Master Chief in Halo? Because he's also a mute protagonist, aren't they?
Not though.
Oh, he's not. Okay, I've only dabbled in Halo a bit.
He's very quiet in the first one. He has like 2-word sentences a lot, you know, like you know, he has a lot of very short sentences or very short lines or very to the point dialogue. But as the series goes on, he has a lot more to say.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should actually play those at some point.
and often, like it is, for some reason, Halo 2 is one of my favorite Halos. Just like Mass Effect 2 is my favorite Mass Effect.
How many Halos are there? 5, 6, 4?
Well,
8?
there's 4 direct in a row Halos. Then there's ODST and Reach, so that's 6. Plus, no. There's 5. Oh my gosh, I completely screwed that up. There is Halo 5. Wow. So then there's ODST and Reach, so there's 7.
Lord.
And then, yeah, so there's seven Halos. But the ODST and Reach, you don't play as Master Chief. Only Halo 1 through 5, you play as Master Chief. So.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Yeah.
So would you say?
As my-
Sorry, go ahead. No. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say you actually play as a slew of characters in ODST. One of which being Nathan Fillion's character Buck.
Because I recall he and a lot of the Firefly cast are huge Halo fans. So
well, it turns out the guy who plays Jane is also in ODST.
Yeah, Adam Baldwin. Yeah. Apparently him and Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion especially are like massive Halo fans.
I was severely disappointed when they did not make Buck like the main protagonist or the secondary protagonist in Halo 5 because he already had established lore in one of the previous Halo games. I mean, he's definitely there and definitely has some dialogue, but I just felt it would have been a more interesting thing to have seen that character a bit more expanded upon in Halo 5. And I think a lot of fans just didn't like Halo 5 because of the way the plot goes out. And I don't know of anyone who likes the character of Locke. He feels so unbelievable. Like it's not the actor, it's the way that that character is just written as just I don't know, like this weird chip on his shoulder that does not make sense as to why it's there. Like they don't really explain the angst that he has. It just doesn't make sense to me.
So would you say Gordon Freeman is the top of your list?
Yeah, he's at the top of my list. Now, I was thinking about Master Chief, but I don't know if I would put Master Chief in that list at all. I do like the character of Master Chief a lot. I'm really trying to put into, I don't know, maybe Spaz can name one of his and I'll think about it. Like I have a few, I just have to think if they're really my
no worries at all.
My top.
No worries at all. Spaz, you got one to throw at us? Doesn't have to be the top, just any of them.
Yeah, pretty much at the top of my list in part because of recency, but also because of how much character development this particular character gets over the course of this one game, with sequels on the way, or at least one sequel on the way, supposedly. Ichiban Kasuga of Yakuza Like a Dragon. Yeah. He starts off as the naive idiot hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from your playthrough initially, you didn't like his character.
I couldn't stand him at first. You're absolutely right. I couldn't stand him at first, and he
grows on you.
I've completely come around on him. Like I'm sure by the end of the game he would be on my list. I just don't think he's not there yet. But I'm still early days, pretty much in the game.
Right. You're relatively really early in the game, so you haven't seen as much of the character development he gets as I have.
Right.
On the other hand, I would say in terms of his starting as the idiot hero going on this journey of his and seeing the friends that he makes along the way and the challenges he has to overcome, he gets lots of development.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Even in the I think I've played only for 12 hours, which is funny because you say that so early. I think I've only played for 12.
Yeah.
I've played for 12 hours, and his character arc so far has been amazing. Like I couldn't stand him at first. Like I just wanted him to shut the hell up, and now I'm just totally gripped by his quest to be a Dragon Quest hero, basically, which is just delightful so far. And I was thinking about after I played Biomutant the other day, which had no memorable characters at all, and I will never play again. I was thinking about how well other games introduce merge tutorial and character building and world building in the tutorial within the first couple hours, much better than Biomutant did. And that was one of the games I thought of. The other one was Horizon Zero Dawn, which is more thematic, which is thematically closer to Biomutant, but it does a much better job of setting everything up.
I really need to finish that game. I've only played through the first couple of
I just restarted
maybe the first hour.
I just restarted it because I have decided I'm not going to be embarrassed about playing on baby mode anymore for any game.
Don't. I wouldn't. I actually played on what was it? The Jedi Fallen Order. I played. A lot of people talk about playing on Jedi mode or something. I just played on story mode, which is one of the easiest modes you can play on, just so I could because I wanted to play the story. I wanted to see what was up. Like I didn't care about trying my hardest or whatever. I just I wanted to enjoy myself. So there's nothing wrong with that, dude.
Yeah, I used to be like, oh, sorry, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, people should just normalize the idea of playing in story mode and not feeling bad about it, because for some people, that's the only way they can play the game and enjoy it.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
And that should not be something that anyone should gatekeep about. If
agree.
You need to play on story mode in order to enjoy it, go for it, man. Go for it.
When a developer puts in difficulty settings, they do that for a reason.
Yeah,
because everybody has different play styles and they want people to be able to enjoy their game at different levels. Now, some games like to try and make fun of you for that, like Wolfenstein, for example. They do the little baby face with the pacifier. I think that's all part of the fun and silliness of the game.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's a difference, because sometimes there's games where they don't put that in. It's meant to be difficult for a reason, and that just might not be for those people, and that's okay, because I don't like sports games, so I don't play sports games. You know what I mean? So it's not like
Well, I mean, there is a difference between being difficult by necessity, because of the genre. For example, roguelites are a pretty good example of that.
Souls games.
But there's a difference between that difficulty and the difficulty settings, and then being accessible.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I restarted Horizon Zero Dawn on baby mode using the mouse and keyboard instead of the gamepad, and I'm having a much better time than I did my last attempt. Like, I could hit things. Yeah. I could hit things now.
Between that and Death Stranding, I really need to get back into those games.
I got overwhelmed with Death Stranding. I got to a point where it's like, I have to walk all the way over there. No, I can't do it. I just stopped. No.
Yeah.
Like, that game is
a great game, though.
I'm not saying it's not. I personally got overwhelmed with it. I was like, no, I can't.
Yeah, entirely fair.
I can't do this. So how did we get on that topic? Oh, yeah. Talked about Biomutant for a second. So yeah, and again, Yakuza, Ichi is a great character, and I'm really enjoying him. I'm enjoying all the characters. Like, just about every character you meet in that game so far has been, even if they're a bastard, I'm still enjoying it. Yeah.
And you still have so much more to go to see the other characters within.
I cannot wait. So for me, my top character in any game I've ever played is the one I'm streaming right now on in the background. His name is Stephen Heck, and he's from a little game.
Heck?
Yeah, his name is Stephen Heck, and he's from a little game called Alpha Protocol. The first time you meet Stephen Heck, he's torturing a guy, and he's about to make him drink bleach, and you find out he's doing that because he thought he lost his keys. Guy is completely insane. Voiced by Nolan North. You find out later he ripped off three fingers of a guy for calling him Steve. Just a crazy mother who's hilarious. He talks through gunfights, and he's just so he's such a delight. And there are several different endings to that game. And my first ending I ended up with Stephen Heck because I was a pure professional. I was like a Jason Bourne style professional. And I ended up with Stephen Heck at the end. We went off to start our own little agency, and it was just the best ending. And I'm playing through Alpha Protocol again a second time, being a complete asshole. And my handler hates me. So far, every character I've met can't stand me. And it completely changes the game. That game is amazing. If you haven't played Alpha Protocol, you can't buy it anymore, sadly.
It has its faults, but it has so much going on.
It's so janky in some ways. Like the actual gameplay can be so janky, but the story and the way that it can branch depending on how you act to certain people is just chef's kiss. Just so great. And I started a second playthrough pretty much for him because I wanted to get to him, and oh my god, I just love that character so much. And we got a lot of we got people throwing out characters in the chat. We got let's see. We got Laura Croft. Okay. Which one? The original one?
Yeah,
the reboot?
That's a really hard one to say because like I mean Lara Croft in general as like a character type is really cool, but as far as like a game for Lara Croft, the old ones are kind of nostalgic, but they were hard. I would venture to say the reboot version of Lara Croft would be a good pick.
Yeah, I agree. I started playing that first one, then I got stuck and just threw out the controller out the window. Well, I wanted to, but I was really enjoying that.
I was gonna say, rip controller.
Yeah. No, let's see. Who else do we got? Oh, Angel from Wing Commander. She was a great character. The first 4 astronauts in Kerbal Space Program. What? Okay, that's a very interesting one. Okay,
that's almost like saying the red character from Among Us. Like what?
I mean, they do have some character because like, isn't it like 3 of them are serious, and then you have that one guy's like woo, he's like amazed at everything. I think that one has a name actually. Can't remember it now. Let's see. What else do we got on here? Okay, so do you guys know who Bob Kerman is? Is that Oh, that's who Bob Kerman is. Oh. So Bob Kerman is apparently one of the astronauts from Kerbal Space Program. His name is Bob Kerman.
So much I know.
Yeah, I'm like, who the hell's Bob Kerman?
You know, if we're gonna talk about female protagonists that I think are really good in general, I liked the character of Ellen Ripley from Alien Isolation.
Oh, she was great. I was worried about using like movie characters, but that one applies because it's a strictly video game character.
Right. And so I have yet to beat that one. It's one of those things. There was an interesting question, and this is almost like a topic show in and of itself, but there's an interesting question that I saw. I think PC Gamer or GOG posted on Twitter that says, "What's a game that you love, but like you can't beat, or you have a hard time playing, or like, you know, like what's name a game that you absolutely love, but like you're just not really good at?" I think was the general gist of it. And I think Alien Isolation fits that mold for me. I love this game, and I suck at it.
I would say for me, Kerbal Space Program is one of those. Like, I'm amazed by it. I love it. It's an amazing thing. I can't build anything for crap. I have no imagination when it comes to building ships. Like, if it was up to me, everything would be a Borg cube. Everything. Just forget everything. Because I have no imagination.
Hey, look, there it is. What do you think?
Hey, it's efficient, right? Right? Anyway. Modular.
Well, if I was going to if we're actually going on like the list of game characters, the more I've thought about it, I do think the character Nico Bellic from GTA 4. I really liked Nico Bellic from GTA 4. He was a fun character.
I never played GTA 4, but I heard it was quite. I heard it was one of the darker ones.
It's okay. It has a couple of interesting spin-offs or expansions. The motorcycle game one, I forget the name of the motorcycle game one.
Is that the Tony one?
No. The Ballad of Gay Tony is the other one, and I loved the Ballad of Gay Tony. Like the characters were really good. Like it was a lot of fun. And Tony actually shows up in GTA 5 as a character there, and he's a lot of fun in that one too.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
You don't get to play Tony, but he's just he's a reoccurring character, and
a nice little nod to GTA 4. That's cool. Spaz, do you have another character you want to throw out there?
Yeah, one that is, speaking of female protagonist, Juno Markev.
You know, it's funny.
Hey,
you bring up Juno, and I did love Juno, but I was going to bring up Sharky
Sharky is a great character.
Love Sharky.
Sharky is my favorite. Sharky is my favorite as well of the companions that you can get in Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. But Juno's got some great characterization too.
Yeah, she really does. She really does. You're absolutely right. Yeah, for for such an open game, that game is very character driven.
Hold on a second. Sorry to interrupt. Most dapper gent said Atris. I find that interesting that you say that. Are you referring to Mist? Or is that am I reading chat from an earlier like thing? I think I'm reading chat from an earlier thing. My bad.
I don't know. I'm looking.
Look at the timestamp.
I looked far back. Yeah, I looked too far back. I'm looking in Discord chat, guys. I'm so sorry. But Atris is a good character. You just don't play as them. Sorry, my bad.
Is that one from one of the Myst games?
That is the main. I guess the main kind of guy from all of the Myst games, more or less. You don't play as him, but he's the one who's like writing in the books at the beginning and like telling the story. And
now Bob Rupert brings up Grayson Burroughs from Privateer. I love Privateer, and I don't remember that character. Do any of you guys? Because I do not. I mean, unless that's the character you play. I don't remember the character you play having a name. But I don't remember a character called Grayson Burroughs from Privateer. Unless it's in Privateer 2, then F that. I don't remember any character from Privateer 2. I remember the actors, but not any of the characters. Oh, so Bob, that's the character you play, is Grayson Burroughs. Yeah, I don't remember much about that character from the original Privateer. Like, it's one of those kind of feckless, not feckless, kind of blasé. He's like Simon Trent from Freelancer, just like generic man, you know? Just like, oh, look, another white guy. Okay. They all look the same to me, you guys. Anyway, but, God, I didn't know your character in Privateer had a name. I did not. How'd you know that? Is there a novel? Is there a book? Oh, Burroughs' name was established in the expansion. Oh, no wonder. I played the expansion for 5 goddamn minutes. And then they stole your beautiful gun. And then I was like, nope, I'm done. Never playing this again. So, okay. Oh, Gabriel Knight. That is a great character. Voiced by 2 different people. No, wait. Yeah. He was voiced by Mark Hamill in the first game, right? And then, no, Tim Curry in the first game. And the third game. I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking Mark Hamill, or did Mark Hamill voice him? God damn it. I thought it was Tim Curry who voiced Gabriel Knight.
Hey, side tangent for a second. Switching gears just for a quick second.
Sure.
Speaking of voice actors.
Yeah.
I just started watching Invincible on Prime. It's that animated.
I hear it's very good.
Show.
I hear it's very good.
It's very good.
It's very good. J.K. Simmons plays Omni-Man.
Yeah.
I was like, what? and Steven Yen or how,
Steven
right?
Yeun.
Yen, yeah. He does the character of Mark, like the Omni-Man's son, and it's really good. I was surprised that was Steven at first because I didn't quite hear it until like I hovered my mouse over the screen. I was like, oh wow, that's who that is. I was like, because I was trying to figure it out. I was like, he sounds familiar. But anyway, J.K. Simmons, Omni-Man, freaking awesome. I was like, holy crap, that's who that. And I was like, yes.
You know, I have not played Portal 2 because I have no patience for puzzle games. But I'll tell you what, I have listened to every audio recording of what's his name? J.K. Simmons' character from Portal. Johnson?
Oh, yeah.
Cave Johnson.
Cave Johnson. Yeah, I've listened to every audio recording of Cave Johnson multiple times because I just love J.K. Simmons that much. Like, he can do well, did you see that movie where he was a music teacher? I couldn't watch that one. It was a little too intense. But I can watch him in
I missed that one.
What the hell is that one called? I can't remember. Yeah, it was a little too intense. But I can watch him in just about anything. Yeah, Cave Johnson. Oh my God. You guys haven't listened to the Cave Johnson stuff. Oh my God, go find that. It's so funny.
I forgot his name, but I think I found out my third favorite character, and it took me a second to realize this, but I think the name of the character doesn't matter as much as like playing the character and like his story development. It's gonna kill me here. Hold on a second. God.
Jose, who voiced Peter Parker in the PS4 game? Go ahead.
The character Marcus Holloway from Watch Dogs 2.
I think I've played. Oh yeah, Watch Dogs 2, of course. I played a little bit of that. Yeah, he was a great character.
Yeah, he was a really good character. I loved his entire I played through the whole game. I love his story. It's really good.
Yeah, he was a great character. That was a good point. I really like that character because he was actually trying to be a good person. Like
who could do things like he could do things like shoot up stores and whatnot if he really wanted to, but most of the time the story was having you be a protagonist.
Yeah,
you're right. A proper protagonist, like only if you absolutely must. But it's fun trying to go completely stealth and just like actually be, Yeah,
that's one of the few games that isn't Thief where you could actually do like a full stealth playthrough. I hear, and it actually can work. From what I understand. Because you have a taser, right? And you can like do non-lethal takedowns and all kinds of things. I got to get back into that one. So for me, I was going to mention Garrus from Mass Effect series. Like I didn't play 1, but 2 and 3, he was like the one guy, the one character I always took with me. If you recall, Spaz, like every away team had Garrus. I don't care who the third one was. It was usually Tally if she was available. I love Tally too, but oh my God, I love Garrus.
Yeah. Grab your gun, Garrus.
Garrus is one of my picks as well.
So much. So
yeah.
Just give me, can we just get a side game? Can we just get a side game where it's Garrus as a cop? Can we just get that?
Well,
I want that.
It doesn't even have to be Garrus as a cop.
PI?
Well, no, because Garrus was CSEC before he joined. He was part of Citadel Security before he joined up with Shepard, and that was in the first game. But the other way you could have gone with it is his time as Archangel.
What's that? What's his time? Is that when he was a bounty hunter or something? Or
so after the beginning events of Mass Effect 2, when the Normandy is destroyed and everybody who survived goes off their own direction, he takes up on the station as the persona of Archangel, a sniper who is killing off the various gangs, right?
Yeah.
So you meet up with you're hunting for Archangel, and you find out, oh, it's Garrus.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was wondering before you were going. Is because I remember that's when you first meet up Garrus in Mass Effect 2, and I hadn't played Mass Effect 1, so I'm like, who's Garrus? And I'm like, who's this guy? But I'm like, okay, he's freaking awesome. I love him, and he's so great.
And if you played in 1, you would have seen him before he got his scars.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of like him with his scars. And if you play Femship,
you can romance him.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
So that's probably cool.
Honorable mention though for Mordin, because Mordin Solus,
the scientist, is that the scientist?
Yeah,
yeah. You're gonna make me cry again, Spaz. You're gonna make me cry.
But there are so many great characters within that series. So.
Yeah, no, there are a lot of. I mean, the guy who Michael Dorn played, that was it Michael Dorn who played?
It was Michael Dorn was. He was a side character you meet during 2.
Yeah, who? Oh no! I'm thinking same race, but the character
you're thinking of Grunt.
Yes, Grunt. I loved Grunt. I love Grunt. There were a lot of great characters in Mass Effect. That's why you play those games. The combat is all right, but I mean, you play it for the characters.
You could do a top 10 of just the characters from Mass Effect, and
You
it would
really
be
could.
the characters from Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, we'll name 10 characters from the Final Fantasy series.
Let's.
Sid.
Oh, set the bar too low.
I love that meme, by the way. I love that meme. They're using it for everything. They're using it for everything. Yeah, and then at the bottom of that list would be whoever that guy was, whoever Freddie Prinze Mercury played in 3, and then the brunette in 2, I think would be at the bottom of, what was her name? She's also in 3 as well, but
You're thinking of Miranda?
yes. Oh God, I couldn't.
Well, here's the thing. Her character has an interesting arc as far as going from 2 to 3. Because she does get some characterization, more characterization in 3 than she did in 2.
Yeah, that's fair. Still never really liked her though. I think it was too soured from 2.
That's entirely fair.
See, we also got from the chat, we got Alec Mason from Red Faction Guerrilla.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I do not really remember. Did you guys play Far Cry 4? Because Jose is bringing up Pagan Min. Far Cry 4.
Unfortunately, like Far Cry Primal and Far Cry 4 slipped through the cracks for me for some reason, and I went straight to 5.
I have played quite a bit of Primal. It's very good. You can just jump into that whenever. It's worth playing. I've not played 4 though.
But I have not played 4. Sorry.
Yeah,
but if we are going to mention a Far Cry game, Far Cry 5, got some great characters. There
are some great
pretty colorful characters.
Yeah, there are some great characters in Far Cry 5. So the next one I wanted to mention might be one of the closest to my actual heart. I mean, I love the other characters I mentioned, but I think the closest to my heart is BT from Titanfall 2. I love
that's a good pick.
I love BT. Like when he first says he is 52% in love or whatever with a gun he just found, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna love this guy or this robot.
Yeah, BT made my list as well.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, BT is so great. Oh my, and the way that you form the bond with him over the entire game. Like,
I mean, it is fair to say BT is the deuteragonist of that game.
The what?
Deuteragonist, as in secondary protagonist.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, so there's the protagonist, you.
Right.
And then there's the deuteragonist, which is not, who doesn't have as much a screen time, so to speak. But the protagonist could not get to the end of the story without the deuteragonist there.
This is very true. Folks, if you haven't played Titanfall 2, I'm just going to go out and say it's probably the best single-player FPS campaign of the last 30 years. So go play that one. Next time it's on sale. It goes on sale regularly. Go get that one. It's on sale all the time. It's like 8 hours. And it's got like 2 of the best levels you will ever see in a first-person shooter, for one thing. But the story is so great, and the character, especially of BT, and the bond your character forms with him, oh my god. Just totally tugs at the heartstrings, and it does it so well. And they totally set it up for Titanfall 3, which I hope someday happens. I hope. Let's see. Jose
brings... it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh God. I mean, I think Apex Legends is doing well enough that it could happen. At least I hope. Let's see. Jose brings up the Prince and Farah from Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, which I've never played that one. But I do hear a lot of people talk about that pairing in that game. So have you guys played that one?
No.
Years ago, but I've forgotten most of it, and not because it's a forgettable game in any sense of it. It's just I never got back to it. Cassandra from AC Odyssey. Yes, Yes. If you're going to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you play as Cassandra because that is,
It's funny you bring that up because I haven't played Odyssey yet, but I was going to bring up Bayek of Siwa from Assassin's Creed Origins. I love that guy. I love that guy. He is such a great character. I had to finish that one actually. I got like 35, 40 hours and I'm just like, I need a break.
Well, when you get to Odyssey,
so big. Yeah, I've heard if you play Odyssey that you need to play Cassandra. Don't play the dude. That's what I've heard. So yeah, I will die on that hill. Not that it's a difficult one to die upon. Yeah, no, Bayek is a great character. Do you guys have any others? I have a couple more.
Yeah, let's hear what you got. I've got a few. Like I love the Zelda series, so I love the character of Link.
Okay, yeah,
and there's a few other characters in there that I really like too. Like I've always pronounced her name wrong, but Sheikah, I think is her name. She was like Lady Empa, I think is another name she goes by. Who like is the caretaker for the princess in a few of the different Zelda games. I've always liked her character a lot because she's always kind of like putting you in your place, like because Link always kind of thinks he knows what he's doing, and she's kind of like, no, you don't. So she's always been a fun character.
That's probably one of the gaps for me is Nintendo. Like there are so many Nintendo games I have not played. Like I'm like, I know Mario. Luigi? Who's the bad one? Wario? Yeah, I missed so many Nintendo games that I have like that is the big gap for me. But the next one I was gonna mention, this is a space game related one, is Jefferson Clay, who, if you recall, is the dead starship captain in both Independence War 1 and 2. He dies at the end of the opening cutscene in Independence War 1. Somehow he is saved onto a computer, which gets transferred to the ship in both 1 and 2. And he is a great character because he's a ship computer, so he has no F's to give, like none, like whatsoever. And he only gets more surly and funny with age. So by the time you run into him in Independence War 2, which takes place decades after Independence War 1, he's still this amazing character, but he is just does not care about being nice or anything. Just speaking of
Nintendo games, Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark.
Good call.
A lot of people love that game. I know a lot of people who love that game.
She's really good. And to name another character from Perfect Dark, Elvis.
Yeah.
Elvis is the little gray alien that you find at Area 51. His name is Elvis. So.
Elvis? What is Elvis an alien or what is?
Yeah. He's a little gray alien you find at Area 51.
Yeah, he's literally a gray.
Like the stereotype gray alien, that's what he looks like.
Thorsten brings up Claptrap from the Borderlands games. I've only really played Borderlands 2, but Claptrap was delightful in that.
I thought he was funny in the first one, but like I felt like his character got a little much going forward in the series.
Is he in the third one? Do you guys know? I haven't played the third one at all.
I've not played the third, so I would guess so, but I can't confirm.
I'm waiting for it to come down in price. Maybe someday. I'm not in a rush. Because I love Borderlands 2, but there were things about Borderlands 2 that really annoyed me. That are making me not want to rush back into that series. Like all the trash loot and the horrible inventory system that you have to use all the time anyway. Ugh. Oh god. So the last character that I was going to bring up that I had thought of ahead of time was because Wing Commander, of course, like we already had Angel, but for me, Paladin was probably my favorite of the Wing Commander characters. Because he was kind of like the rock that you leaned on for a lot of the series. At least the first 4 games. I don't think was he in the 5th one. I don't think he was in the 5th one. I mean, I loved almost all the Wing Commander, even Maniac. I loved just about all the Wing Commander characters, but Paladin is the one that really stuck with me, and the fact they got what's his name?
John Rhys Davies.
Yes, that guy. Thank you. I had like half of his name. I'm like Reese, and then I was thinking Reese Darby. I'm like, no, not that guy. That's a completely different guy. Had part of the name in my brain. Yeah, John Rhys Davies. He did a great job in Wing Commander 3 and 4 as Paladin. So yeah, I loved Paladin. I'm trying to think of other characters little characters are coming back, like the talking skull from Monkey Island, whose name I can't remember. Was it Mort? I mean, I love the character. He was really funny, but I can't remember the damn name. That series had a lot of great characters. Guybrush Threepwood and all that. Yeah, that series had a lot of great characters. Are there any games that had characters that you just couldn't find yourself giving a damn about? Like, kind of in that vein, I could not with the King's Quest series. I could not give a damn about King Graham or his damn children. Like, for some reason, I found them just so boring. I just didn't care less about any of them. I thought they did a much better job with Roger Wilco in the Space Quest series than the characters in the King's Quest series.
I mean, I kind of already mentioned it, but the character of Locke from Halo 5.
Yeah. Now, did they want you to dislike that character, or did they want you to like him and they just failed?
I think they wanted you to like him, and it just kind of fell flat because like. So not necessarily spoilery, but Locke's team is tasked with going and finding Master Chief and his team and bringing them in because Master Chief, like, apparently he's like gone MIA or he's gone rogue or whatever, but not really. He's got his reasons, and so they're tasked with going and bringing him back. But like Locke's got this huge chip on his shoulder to like bring this guy in for whatever reason, and like even Locke's team's like, "Hey, are you sure we should be doing this?" And it's just like his angst and his desire to like capture Master Chief just seems really bizarre. And then like once Locke figures out what Master Chief's actually doing, he's like, all right, well now we need to help Master Chief. And you're just like, dude, you were so like no questions asked, gung ho was like willing to just like to bring this guy down. And it just, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Now, I was wrong about the name of the skull. It's Murray from the Monkey Island games. I was thinking Mort, who is in PlayStation. Planescape Torment. That's so much. This fiction has a talking skull, doesn't it? Thorsten brings up Larry Laffer. Oh, I couldn't stand him. I couldn't stand Larry Laffer. I just wanted him to fail. I played like 3 of those games and I never wanted him to succeed. Oh, horrible. And I know he's written that way, but and him. Now, Jose, are you saying you like CJ from San Andreas or you don't like CJ from San Andreas? I couldn't really get into any of the Grand Theft Autos after 2.
I'll say that CJ was a pretty decent character, but I think Franklin was a great character in GTA 5. He's probably one of the best GTA characters.
Out of what I've played of GTA 5, he's the one I like the most, which is saying a lot because a lot of them are terrible.
It's kind of hard to like a couple of the other ones for sure. They're very, very deplorable.
Yeah, it like that's one of the reasons I couldn't stick with Red Dead Redemption 2 because like, oh, am I supposed to like this main character? No, I'm done. I don't like him at all. I don't want him to succeed. I don't. I just stopped playing because I just didn't care.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I know, because it was a very pretty game, and it seemed to have a lot of great systems. But like eventually, I could not. I just didn't. Maybe I had to keep going. Maybe I had to give it another shot. But like, oh, I just couldn't. All. And it like for me, if a game is character driven and I don't like the character, it's the same with like movies or TV shows. I just can't get into it. Like everyone keeps telling me I should watch Schitt's Creek, and we gave it like 3 or 4 episodes, and we're like, I don't like any. We're like, we don't like any of these people. Why do we care? Why do we want them to succeed? And we just stopped. Everyone's like, no, you got to keep going. No. There's so much content right now. There's so much content. Like, if you don't like something, move on to something else. You know. Games
yeah. I think Jose has a really good point. Like Arthur had a loyalty misplaced to Dutch. Like there's this like I think that's like the what is it, the tragedy of Red Dead Redemption series is like this notion of loyalty, and then like you continue to try and put that loyalty and that trust into somebody, and it's just like the what is it, the not the value, what is it, no, what's another, the virtue of loyalty, I guess, is a good thing, or the virtue of like committing yourself to following somebody, because it's, you know, that's where people kind of get blinded in a lot of cases, because it's a blind loyalty. But loyalty in and of itself isn't bad. It's actually a pretty good virtue, but you can put your loyalty in the wrong person, or, you know, the whatever it is. And I think that's definitely what happens to Arthur in Red Dead Redemption 2. So
maybe I'll give it another shot once I uninstall some other stuff, because that game is huge.
It is pretty large. I will say though, I do enjoy playing the online portion though. That's a lot of fun.
Is it? Can you play that solo? Or
it's actually
play that by yourself.
Well, you can. You can. It's less trolly than GTA Online is.
Oh, that's
mainly
good.
because like when you're out in the wilderness and you pull up the map, you can't see where everybody else is, and no one can see where you are unless they are close enough to you. And by close enough, I mean within like 100 yards. So like. You know, if someone's within 100 yards of you, they show up on your little mini map. But like other than that, like if you're out in like the deep woods, like hunting bears or something like that, yeah, no one's gonna know where you are.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. That probably makes it a lot. That probably makes it a lot more fun to play. You're not gonna get ganked.
Yeah,
all the time.
and usually when you see people's, when you go to any of the towns, and I've only been killed like maybe once or twice going to towns out of all the times that I've played. Usually it's because somebody's just kind of like having a rough day of their own. So but like you don't typically lose anything either other than just like time. And the other cool thing too about GTA Online, or I mean Red Dead Online versus GTA Online, is their mission system for like when you have your own business and you're like you're selling furs and stuff like that, and you're like trapping and you're selling moonshine. The way that they do it in this one is when you're doing a short delivery, you're invulnerable to other players. They can't hurt you. But when you do a long delivery, that's when you show up for people and people can come after you and take like your loot. So the thing about GTA Online is they don't do that. It's just like everybody can see everybody on the map, no matter what it is you're doing. Someone can come and troll you. So they added some like troll preventative measures. Now, of course, higher risk, higher reward, right? So if you go with the longer route, you'll get more money if you make it. But there's a chance because players will be able to see it. So that's kind of the fun difference there. Little Red Dead info for you.
Maybe one day if I get a bigger hard drive. Jeez, that game takes up I think that's one of the I got the Halo collection, but I haven't installed it because it takes up like 200 gigs by itself or something.
Well, that's if you install everything. You don't have to install everything.
I thought you did, because every time I try to install one thing from the Microsoft Store, it wants to install everything. Like, I don't seem to have a choice, you know. So that's why I haven't installed
through Steam. Like, it installs the base thing, which is like 30 gigs.
Okay.
Which the base thing is Reach, I think. And then, if you own everything, all you have to do is right click on it and go to like DLC and then check mark the other ones that you want, and it'll install the rest of
I'll have to see if the Windows Store, because that's where I have it. It was really cheap one day. I'll have to see if that gives me the similar option. I bet you they don't, because the Windows Store is terrible.
Yeah. Also, don't go through the Windows Store. Go through Xbox.
It was really cheap, so I was like, okay, fine.
Well, if you have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass, and you can just install it through Game Pass.
Yeah, well, I bought it.
Well, you can still install it through Game Pass because it's tied to your account.
Right, but every time I try to install it, they're like 160 gigs. Like, no, I don't want to install everything. I'll have to see if they give.
Well, I've got everything installed, and I just looked at my Steam library. I've got everything installed, and it's 135 gigs.
That is a lot of gigs.
It is a lot of gigs, but it's also like 7 games or 6 games.
That's true. Someday I'll try them. I've got them around. Hey, there's so much to play. And they keep making new stuff that you want to play. Like, we're going to be playing that EDF game. Okay.
EDF.
Oh, it's so fun. It is so much fun. Well, I already have 12 hours in it, by the way.
Dear Lord.
So,
dear Lord,
yeah.
That's great. I'll have to try and get a little more time in before Thursday. Let's see. Edison Trent of Freelancer. See, Bob, I didn't like Edison Trent. I thought he was one of those kind of throwaway main characters that, like, is completely eclipsed by everyone around them. Like, what's the name of the woman in Freelancer? Juno Mako? Or what the hell? Mako Mori? No, that's from Pacific Rim. I can't remember her name, but I thought she was a much better character than Edison Trent. Edison Trent is just boring. But it makes sense because you're filling in the blanks. Yes. I've never played Assassin's Creed 4. Is Edward the main guy in that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in Black Flag, yeah.
Is that
and Black Flag is great, by the way.
Is it?
The naval combat is so much fun in
Really?
Black Flag. Oh yeah.
All right, I guess I'll have to install
one
it.
of the fun things you can do in Black Flag is you can get your ship near to an enemy, jump off, swim over, kill all the guys on it, and then when your ship approaches, you can pretty much instantly capture it. It's as long as you don't get killed during your boarding attempt, your solo boarding attempt, you can kill off all the guys on there and then claim it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to give that a try. I think I own it. I'll have to look. I might. I'll have to look. And then this. Oh yeah, the Saboteur. I completely forgotten about that game. I never played very much of it. I was terrible at it. Yeah, that was an Irish protagonist, wasn't it? In the Saboteur. Not a lot of Irish protagonists. Think about it. You're playing the Saboteur right now? Wow. I didn't know. Where you get that? GOG, I think? Anyway. I think that'll about wrap it up unless you guys have any other characters to talk about.
I think we've hit a lot of good characters.
Yeah, I think we have. So that's gonna do it for today, friends. Tomorrow on the morning stream, if I can get my ass up to do it, we're gonna play this kind of driving roguelike called The Long Drive, which actually is apparently very good. And then next week on the show, we're gonna talk about pets in video games. Because more and more games are doing it. And it's awesome. So we're gonna talk about, and we can also talk about like games we wish had pets. You know. So next we're going to talk, because I think we all now have pets, because I think all of us have pets now. So, you Spaz, you got a dog. Hunter, you got how many dogs? Do you just the one dog, Hunter? I'm trying to remember.
For the moment.
Oh, really? Oh, so now that you have a house, are you thinking of expanding the fur family?
Yeah, there's some friends that we know who are like moving, and like they for like a month they need like someone to watch their dog. So it's gonna be our trial run for having 2 dogs. So if that goes well, we'll probably get another one.
Oh, well, that sounds great. That's a perfect way to do it. That is great. And I have 2 cats. Yeah, I thought of it because Far Cry 5 has pets, and then Far Cry 6. I don't know if you all saw the trailer. It's got that little puppy with the legs, with the wheels as its hind legs. Adorable.
I have to admit, I still find it funny that in Far Cry 5, you can attach explosives, remote detonated explosives, to your pet, send it toward the enemy, and then blow them up. It's a thing you can do.
Yeah, for no reason whatsoever in Sea of Thieves, you can put your pet in a cannon and fire them out. It's like an emote. It does nothing to the pet or to like anything you shoot at. It's just something silly you can do.
It sounds like an already fun game. Fun topic. We gotta get back into Sea of Thieves. And that reminds me. Now that Hunter, now that you're back in the world, we gotta put Bridge Crew on the calendar.
Yes, we do.
Now that we all have VR. That's a good point. So folks, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a very active chat. A lot of great characters from you guys. Yeah, I too am also looking forward to Far Cry 6 and not Cuba. It's going to be a lot of fun. It kind of looked a little Just Cause-y from the trailer.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but
a little bit.
If it's the good Just Causes, that's all right. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone. Be safe, be well. Take care of each other, and we will talk to y'all later.